Kind of pulling a Sam Silik here. What up, guys? So some of you guys have asked me, like, what kind of diet I have, to make, mass gains or whatever, or fat loss, or, what have you, right? So there's, there's some calculators you can use online. My main goal, right, when I train, whether it's building mass or dieting, is to keep the proteins always as a base, right? At some point or another, if you're doing a bodybuilding show, obviously that's going to decrease. But usually I do 1 gram per pound of body weight for protein. As far as the carbs and the fats, those are your energy sources. If you're trying to build, make sure you're eating any calorie surplus of about 300 to 400 calories. And make sure that when you are building, you have enough of it in there to supply for your lifts and be able to put more resistance on, train, heavy, light, be able to get through your workouts and power through them so you can actually make, progress, while you're training, right? Athletic progress. When you're dieting, though, obviously that changes. The protein stays the same, but your macros for fats and your carbs do start to drop, right? And ultimately what that does is it drops your calories as well. And it ultimately puts you into a net loss of calories, which equals weight loss, right? Of course, over time, the more weight you lose, the more either activity you're going to have to do to burn more of those calories, or the less you're going to have to eat. Usually I always opt for doing more activity. I don't like feeling hungry throughout the day, but eventually let's say if you're doing a bodybuilding show, it's unavoidable. You're going to have to do that, right? But my diet's pretty simple. Right now, it's egg whites in the morning, maybe with some avocados, and I'll have a cup of oats. No, I don't put any sweeteners in it. I just put a little bit of cinnamon, and I put water and I put it in the microwave. And that's about it. And then after that, at work, I'll either have a protein shake and water, or a protein bar with a protein shake, right? Some of you guys would be like, well, why are you doing that? Because it works for me, and you can honestly kind of tailor your diet the way you want it. And after that, I'll get home. I'll have about 8 ounces to 10 ounces of chicken breast, and I'll have baby carrots. Again, this is my version of dieting. This is my version of weight loss or fat loss, and it's working exceptionally well for me, right? It's allowing me to retain muscle tissue while I'm dieting, and it's allowing me to lose body fat particularly. Then after that, I'll go train, whatever. Sorry, I got cut off, guys. So this will be part 2, right? So it allows me to train, and then after training, for my final meal, it will be just protein shake and water. It just depends on what I'm feeling, right? As long as I'm meeting the criteria that my body requires to retain muscle tissue, which in my case, what I like to do is 1 gram per pound of body weight. Again, some people will argue that carbs are muscle protein sparing and blah, 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 and that you don't need 1 gram per pound of body weight, that you just need 0.8 and all these things. It works for me. Everybody's different. You got to figure out what works for you, right? That's the beauty about bodybuilding. That's the beauty about fitness surgery, is you get to learn how your body works. Right? You get to learn what works and what doesn't work. I know that it could feel kind of like a daunting thing at the very beginning, but trust me, over time it gets better and better, and you end up falling in love with it, like I did. I've been doing this for about 18 years, and I haven't stopped, and I won't stop probably ever. So, figure out what your body needs in calories, what works. Right? I could go online and use a calculator or whatever, and it'll give you a set amount of calories. If that's making me gain weight and I'm trying to lose body fat, and that calculator is telling me that that's my way of losing body fat, or it's supposed to make me lose body fat, then I got to adjust it for myself, right? That means that the calculator is wrong or whatever. You can go to a coach. Again, they don't know what your internals of your body are. They're going to try to get to know you and how your body works over the course of time. No one has any magical diet or magical training module or whatever that that works perfect, right? The reason everybody gets to make so much progress at the very beginning when you first start working out is because your body's untrained. So you're going to lose body fat and you're going to gain muscle just about doing anything, right? As long as you're putting your body through some type of physical stress, it's going to adapt and it's going to get stronger and it's going to lose probably body fat in the process and your endurance is going to go up. So that's why people are like, oh, you know, I figured it out and, you know, blah, blah, blah. Well, it's because it's called the newbie gains. Your body's still adjusting to the resistance. It's trying to adapt. Over time, it gets more complex because now the body doesn't respond like that anymore, right? So now you got to make adjustments. You got to really figure out what your body wants, what it doesn't need, you know, stuff like that. But of course, if you start and then you're years into it, you probably kind of already know how your body works. So again, guys, it's not rock. I guess we're making a part 3. Starting off where we left off at, what was I saying? It's not rocket science, okay? Once you study it a little bit more and you figure yourself out and figure your body out, it's like you start to gain more control about how your body responds to certain exercises and things like that. That's the beauty of it, okay? Don't fall into the gimmick bullshit about, you know, some coaches will try to tell you you can eat whatever you want. They don't tell you that, yeah, you can eat a cheeseburger and still be at a net loss of calories. The idea of it sounds cool, right? This is just an example. Like if it fits your macros is an example of that. Yes, it does work like that, but the problem is with that fucking cheeseburger, you're gonna be hungry still. This is why dieting clean or eating clean with high fiber foods and stuff like that fills you up more and allows you to stay on track. Of course, you want to have your good foods. You want to have your tasty foods. That doesn't mean you should completely sway away from them. Go ahead and have the 1 slice or 2 slices of pizza. Every once in a while, you can have your cheeseburger. That's fine. But don't go have a cheeseburger and then bag of potato chips and some pop right after that. You know, go back on, you know, your healthy diet, right? Study it, right? Do your research and be happy with yourself. You don't need a full-on 8-pack or a 6-pack to be happy, okay? The whole point of it is to feel good, look good, and be confident, and overall be healthy, all right? So have fun with it, guys. Learn about yourself. You know, don't fall into the gimmick, scammy bullshit some of these people will tell you. A real, true coach will tell you the honest truth, what you need to hear, not what you want to hear, and they will guide you the right way. All right, guys. I'll see you guys around.